Thanks for having me back, guys.
Let's talk about this. The MTV VMAs, of course, have dropped nominations list, and Lady Gaga leads nominations with 12 nods. What about this mayhem project, or the creative approach to it, impressed voters to give her 12 nominations? Were you surprised by this, Safia?
Well, no, because the Mayhem Project caused the mayhem that it was meant to, and it made people sit up. You know, after 2 years of Taylor Swift really dominating and having the most amount of nominations, Lady Gaga's Mayhem Project came in and it disrupted, and I think that's what people really wanted, and perhaps what the industry needs. Look, I think it was visually daring, right? Things like Abracadabra and her collaboration with Bruno Mars, Die With a Smile. I think critics were really talking about creative staging, about technical mastery, about genre blending storytelling, and that's what's really resonated with MTV and with voters alike. So I'm absolutely not surprised that Lady Gaga is leading the way this year. And, you know, she's always been very visual, even from, you know, back in the day when she came out. She's always been very visual, always been about the storytelling. And that's really what leads the way in this Mayhem Project. And I think that's why it has got so many nominations.
I agree with you. Like Gaga, honestly, iconic, and she's bold. But we're talking about nominations including Video of the Year, Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, and of course some technical awards. It's a lot of competition, but Artist of the Year, she's going head to head with Beyonce, who's had an incredible tour, Taylor Swift, Kendrick Lamar, Bad Bunny, The Weeknd, Morgan Wallen. This is a heavy. Any predictions? Who do you think will take, you know, this Artist of the Year award? What do you think?
It's a heavy category. You're absolutely right. You've had Beyonce, who's just off the back of that incredible Cowboy Carter tour. You've got Lady Gaga, who's just dropped this incredible Mayhem Project. You've got Kendrick Lamar, who's kind of leading the way in the renaissance of hip hop, so to speak. You've got Taylor Swift, who just, you know, is Taylor Swift again off the back of an incredible tour. Morgan Wallen as well, who's doing incredible things. It's a super heavy category. If you asked me to pick one winner in that category, I would say Beyonce, actually. I think that because of the Cowboy Carter project and tour, which was so very different from Renaissance, I think actually she will take home the prize for Artist of the Year. But like I said, I think everybody in that category is definitely worthy of the win, has definitely put the work in over this past year, right? It's a heavy category, like you said.
I agree. You know what they say, being nominated alone is massive. You don't, even though everyone wants to win. But let's talk about snubs and probably like omissions in this year's nominations list. Anything the fans are talking about? Is there anything surprising? I was expecting to see more BTS, J-Hope, even Taylor Swift. What do you think? What are people saying about snubs this year?
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Taylor Swift not as nominated as she has been in the past. And maybe that's a good thing, actually, you know, changing it up a bit and having different people being the front runners. But I think the two major snubs were BTS members Jin and J-Hope, who, despite having solo chart toppers themselves, were overlooked, whilst all the members of Blackpink earned solo nods. And I think that was a little bit weird. Like, why would that not happen? Why did they not receive those nods as well? I think they'll be really disappointed. And also it kind of rings a bit weird that the Blackpink members got those solo nods, but Jin and J-Hope didn't. I think they will be disappointed at that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a fan of K-pop, and Killing It Girl by J-Hope, oof, I love that song. But let's talk about those who had a lot of nominations. Bruno Mars and 11, just right behind, of course, Lady Gaga. Kendrick had 10. And it's all different genres of music. Now, what does this say about what is in vogue, what people are listening to? What's the new cool? Or are we just listening to everything and anything generally around the world?
That's it. We're listening to anything and everything. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not listening to Bruno Mars. A lot of people are. This is shocking. But you're absolutely right. Like, everybody's listening to everything. You've got Mars and Lady Gaga representing for pop. You have got Kendrick Lamar representing for hip hop. You've got Rose representing for K-pop. You've got Wallen representing for, you've got Bad Bunny representing for Latin music. It is so wide across the board. And again, I think that is a really, really great thing. And it shows actually the power of radio airplay as well, because that's where you get the best mix up and mash up of all the different genres. And I think people are really listening to radio again, and that's reflecting in their playlist, that's reflecting in the videos that they are watching. So I think it really shows that people are watching absolutely anything and everything, including Bruno Mars.
Well, that's good. Let's talk about inclusivity. Now, of course, new categories, but Afrobeats category still remains. It's competitive. Burna Boy, Ashake, Thames, Rema, Wizkid, Tyler, Marley. I don't know. Are we hoping to see more inclusivity? And who do you think might take this one for Afrobeats? You know, because Africa is really doing the thing around the world right now. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And, not just limited to Afrobeats, African across the board. For myself personally, I am really happy to see the representation of more women in this category. Tyler and Molly, 2 out of the 6, I think is a really great thing. Usually this category can be very male heavy, but I'm really glad to see them represented. Thames and Tyler have, and Molly as well, kind of have that viral moment, that cross-cultural appeal. I mean, Molly's song's probably the most viral song at the moment, so it's great to see her get that nod. But will the viral moments overtake years of artistry from, say, Burna Boy or someone like that? Perhaps, is it about what's hot at the moment, or is it about who's put the work in? That's really the question. If you ask me to pick a winner in this category, oh my goodness, this is a hard one. I don't think I can pick a winner in this category because it's too difficult. Because like I said, will it be about someone who's had a really viral song recently, or will it be about someone who's put in the work? If you really ask me and you put me on the spot, I would say Thames. That's maybe a wild card.
I guess we'll have to wait. But let's move from this one to Diddy. We've talked about Diddy a lot on the show, but we got updates. I mean, he's been denied bail again, and this time we're hearing that they're, asking for clemency. What do we know about this, and what is the strategy to hopefully get a pardon from the President of the United States?
Well, yes, Diddy's legal team have put forward the request for a pardon for Diddy from President Donald Trump. They've reached out to Trump seeking a presidential pardon. And that was a move that was anticipated because of some prior meetings. Now, the president's office have declined to confirm the request, and Trump himself commented that about his past contentious relationship with P. Diddy, and kind of implying that it makes clemency unlikely. However, his legal team have decided to take the punt, and they have asked for clemency anyway. It remains to be seen what will happen about that.
I got to be honest, we're not so surprised, but do you have any predictions? Where do you see it going? And has the Trump administration even publicly responded at all to this?
No, we haven't heard anything from the Trump administration on this at all. And I think they've actually probably got a huge amount of things on their plate, particularly this week. The ongoing conflicts in Gaza and the Ukraine are definitely taking over from a story like this on the president's desk. If I can predict, I don't think clemency will be granted, but I also know that President Donald Trump is very, very unpredictable. And something that he said 2 weeks ago, he may completely change his mind. And that's what his legal team are counting on, actually. They're counting on perhaps they'll just catch him on a good day and he'll decide, you know what, P. Diddy's actually a great friend of mine. He doesn't need to be in prison. Let me grant this clemency. That's what they are betting on. So let's see if it works out for them.
Well, only time will tell. But lucky for Diddy, I mean, sentencing is in October? It's not too far away. So I guess we'll put our ears on the ground. But we want to say thank you again for being a part of this show and for bringing us updates from the international side of things.